Hey Eric, just figured I'd make you a quick walk around video and I'll just kind of briefly go over all the panels and kind of where the seams are and maybe that can give you some inspiration into your project. You were asking about the front bumper, so we'll kind of start there. It's one piece kind of across the top there. Obviously the style bumper has a black bottom, so that makes things a little bit easier. And then each side piece here is kind of its own deal. There's also some sectioning in that side vent. It's important to note that the order in which I did it. Um, so if you do this first and then this second, it allows you to wrap over the edge and hide your seam that way. It's on a natural style line, as you can see from the difference of light. That was one kind of saving grace of wrapping the Lambo, is it has a lot of sharp, bold, distinct style lines, which are really good for, hiding seams and that type of thing. So the Viper is a little bit different in that aspect. But if you look at it from this way, that seam starts to become pretty obvious because you're looking up at it, and this is the edge, and you see it. So the reason that I did this first was so that I could come around that edge, so that from the viewing angle, you're looking down on the seam, so your eye isn't catching that edge and making it stand out more than it should. So that's kind of how I did that area. But yeah, there's three pieces total, and then in the front, it gets pretty low down here, but this piece is just wrapped underneath and then back all the way. The trimming gets a little dicey around here, and it's pulled back a little bit since I applied it, so it did look a little bit better when I had just done it. But yeah, the center section is all one piece and then just one piece on the side. As far as other seams, like the mirror is a bunch of multiple pieces from underneath, one piece, two piece. But again, I did the bottom first so that I could start at the top and wrap down and just hide that seam nice and underneath there, so that when from the normal viewing area up above, you just really don't see it. Same with the actual, the stock piece right here. It has to have a seam somewhere. You can't just keep wrapping around and not have something. So I brought it around to the front and did it right on the bottom there. Now, this car sits pretty low, so again, from the average viewing area, when you're walking up to it, it looks very nice and seamless. That's pretty well hidden. Quarter panels were kind of a bitch. Probably the hardest panel on this car for me anyways. This is all one piece that extends all the way down to the bottom and then goes in. So my seam is running right there, and underneath I've got a couple seams running right under here because it got kind of goofy in this vent area. Same principle was used. Obviously this style line is great at hiding things. You can just see how the light's sitting on there. So this piece was done first, and then this piece laid over it and then trimmed that way. And you can see some seams up here. So from normal viewing, you really don't see it. And then this is wrapped over, down the valley, across, and then up the window, and then it's seamed right here in the corner here, so that my sail panel is a separate piece from the quarter panel. And this was taken out and wrapped, individually on its own. And these were the vents that I was telling you about. So, and then all of these are inserts that I took out to wrap those. So 14 on this side. So I got 28 vents that individually I cut strips for and, inserted and wrapped and then tucked all the edges. And yeah, it was maybe my least favorite part of this job. The sail panel itself is multiple pieces. I probably could have done one piece and wrapped it around. The reason I didn't was because it got real hairy up in that corner where the spoiler is. It was hard to wrap it over and get it to sit in far enough to the point where you wouldn't see silver. So this piece is separate than this piece. But I did this one first so that I could take this, wrap it around the corner, and then do my knifeless tape seam right there. So that you're always looking down on it and not up at that edge. And then it just seams right along the roof on this beautiful little style line that we have right here. Roof was wrapped first, then the quarter panel so that I could go over it. So that when you're walking up to the car from this angle, you're looking over that seam, not into that seam. It just helps a little bit, make things, you know, a little more seamless. So point of the video is there's seams all over this thing. If you look for them hard enough, you'll absolutely find them. The pros use them, everyone uses them, it's a part of life. But hopefully you can find good places to put them and kind of disguise them a little bit. And, you know, it's just something that, that you're going to have to deal with. I did the jams on this. I don't know. I think it kind of turned out like shit, but if I were to do it again, I probably wouldn't do the jams. I didn't do the jams on my vet. On this one, I figured, yeah, let's try it. Let's just see what happens. It was a lot of work, and it really didn't turn out very good. The payoff wasn't, you know, what I wanted it to be. And it's just a lot of style lines coming together and a lot of tight areas. And I don't know, if I were to do it again, I'd probably just, I don't know, plastic dip them black or leave them silver. I don't know. Yeah, so if you have any other questions, let me know. And I can get them answered for you.